Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Rex. This is Jane Walker.
This is a newer release of Johnnie Walker.
thing.
Yeah, so they released originally a Jane Walker.
It's like a year or
and
two
they released
ago.
it on like Women's Day and International Women's Month and things like that.
Yeah.
It was blended by Emma Walker.
It says right here, Emma Walker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if our Emma is actually moonlighting Johnny. I'm just kidding.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Like the Walker.
There's
family,
only 2 people named Emma in the world.
The Walker family. Yeah. They say, you know what we need to do? We need to find a middling YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I just happened to open up a
Knucklehead.
distillery with their community.
Yeah.
And I'll inch my way in as distillery manager. And
Yeah.
someday I get to poke at their microscopic still.
Yeah, exactly. No, this one is specifically a selection of casks, blended 10-year-old whiskey.
Yeah.
In theory, it's largely dependent on the Cardew whiskey, which we can get out.
Familiar with the Cardew?
Woo, that's got a little bit of a
that's the
drippy
base
drip.
in here. That's the base.
In theory, the base is probably grain because it's blended. Actually, no, it's blended malt. So yes, it could be the base. Sorry, I was looking at the old list on my notes.
Is it just me, or does the form factor of this bottle make it feel like it's missing a few milliliters? It looks a little small. It's 750.
I've always liked it.
Well, I'm saying,
But it makes it feel like you're getting less whiskey.
It looks pretty, but it looks kind of thin and tall. I guess they're hiding it in the height.
Who knows?
I don't know.
So, don't know a lot of details, but the one thing that was tripping me out on this one was Emma Walker had access to more than 10 million barrels to choose from while blending this thing.
Oh.
Where do you start when you're like, create us a blend? You can choose from any of these 10 million barrels.
You close your eyes, spin in a circle, and point.
Yeah, it just seems like so overwhelming.
Or at an organization that size, you got to know the record keeping is insane.
Oh yeah.
And I would basically hey, where's the part of the barrel house? Where are the best things being?
Where's the things everybody really likes?
Right, and then I'm just gonna go right there.
Yeah.
And then narrow it down to a few thousand.
Yeah. This is also a gift from Magnificent Bastard Ryan Butler.
Ryan Butler, you magnificent
bastard.
Anyway, so she blended this.
Yes.
Ooh, and it does have, there's like an apricot.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was about to say, apricot. I was about to say, it smells like a really sweet, intense honeysuckle, but apricot's definitely more accurate.
Yeah, that's really like Speyside butterscotch candy mixed with a malt. That malt funk is there.
Yeah.
Mixed with dried apricot specifically.
Yes, and I would say the butterscotch is actually taking a back seat to those other flavors that you mentioned. But definitely going to be on the sweeter,
I like the nose.
The sweeter end of the whiskey spectrum, as Johnnie Walker tends to be. It's very
cinnamon almost, like a peppery spiced note on the back middle palate.
It's got a saturating sweetness.
Ooh, it's clingy.
Yeah.
Woo! I can
Stays
feel
with
that. I like that one.
Yeah.
I don't think, I brought up the Johnnie Walker 12 just because it's a closer in age statement, but the Johnnie Walker 12 is a blended scotch, which means it also has grain in it.
This is 41.9% ABV. Interesting proof choice. Because that leads me to believe they were really kind of still damn near the floor, but trying to dial in the flavors just so.
Nope, this is more ashy. What is that? That fruit is really dramatic.
It is.
Right?
It's a peppery, lively fruit. And I get what you say. Cinnamon is going to be the best spice note I think we can throw out there, but I don't think it's quite cinnamon. Maybe like, I don't know.
Nope, it's closer.
So you just
This is the original Jane Walker.
Just pouring yourselves.
No, I'm trying to pour things until I find one that's a real comparison. Yeah, this is the original Johnnie Walker Black Jane Walker edition.
They're definitely different.
They're different.
Yeah.
But it's closer. If you try the other 12, the 12 is ashy. This 12, Jane Walker edition, is not ashy.
It's not ashy, but there's, interestingly, the tiniest thread of like a smoke note.
It's more smoky.
Compared to...
Yes.
Yeah.
This is way more of a Speyside malt.
The one we pulled out today is way more of a Speyside malt.
You know, I kind of want to compare it to Monkey Shoulder. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're just burning through glassware.
So between the original Jane Walker and the new one, I prefer the new one. I think.
Oh, me too.
It's a more present, lively fruit note, and it's sweeter and it's almost clingingly sweet. But I think it actually has more depth and character than the original Jane Walker we just tried. The original had like a smoke note, slight smoke note, which I like, but I think just a whiskey that is comfortable in its own skin. I'm kind of leaning towards this one right here.
Hey, so I run into a complication.
The original Jane Walker, Johnnie Walker Black Label 12, that feels like it's just a lot of flavors that I generally like. It's just the volume's turned down a bit low on most of those flavors. This, for whatever reason, is still a very low proof. For whatever reason, those flavors are very present. And yeah, I like it a lot. What's the issue, Daniel?
I can't find Johnny. I can't find a Monkey Shoulder.
Really?
I think we're out of Monkey Shoulder. I am going to get Cardew since there were rumors that there was...
Just realized I'm not actually looking. I'm just feigning.
You're just like turning your body around in circles.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen Monkey Shoulder in here in a while.
And I don't see our bottle of Cardew. What the hell's going on? Is Cardew over there on the featured wall? It is. So let's try Cardew instead.
Do it! Again, the Jane Walker, that is a much more present and lively sweetness for me.
Yeah, this is, whoa, that is fruit, way more fruity. I thought Jane Walker was fruity. The Cardew is really fruity.
No, but it's more subdued.
Yeah,
the
but
Jane Walker is going to be, it's going to be like a sugary sweetness. There's more fruit in the Cardew, but the actual overall volume of that nose, at least, I haven't tasted the Cardew yet, is turned down by like 30% compared to the Jane Walker.
and the taste is pretty mild too.
I got to tell you, I like the Jane Walker better.
Me too.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? The Jane Walker has more character.
It does. With that proof,
It's more complexity.
I think I'm judging this a lot based on the 41.9%
Yeah.
super low proof, and I'm pleasantly surprised about how much it's punching above its weight for that ABV.
Yeah.
Usually you don't get flavors close to this present and lively and
It's definitely
depth
Speyside.
and- Oh yeah.
But so no real smoke. There's
No.
some pepper zesty notes
Yeah.
that are almost cinnamon spice.
Yeah.
But still, it's not boringly sweet and fruity. It's complex and interesting and does feel really well like married together.
On the
For a
curve.
budget blend.
Yeah, for the curve that I'm grading this
Yes,
on.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Ryan Curie. Relatively new to whiskey. How much do you think food taste influence the type of whiskey you like?
It's everything.
I love smoky, funky, strong flavors in food that make me want to try an Islay Scotch, but I'm hesitant to buy a bottle just in case I end up not liking those flavors in whiskey. Thoughts?
So
Just try a pour at the bar whenever they
open again, or find a restaurant with a Lafroig or something.
Yeah.
But really, I have had mixed results on people who like really love dramatic food,
Right.
but prefer prettier whiskey, or really love black coffee, but really like Speyside.
You know what I think a big part of that probably is? I think when it comes to smoky whiskey, most human beings have spent like damn near a lifetime of having their drinks be some kind of sweet.
Right?
Some kind of soda, presentation of sweetness.
Iced tea.
And if like one exception would be if they drink their tea or coffee black.
Yes.
Then that's a drink that's not going to be sweet. Now, most people are putting in like cream and sugar and blah, 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 blah. So if you're coming into like a smoky scotch, like an Islay or Campbelltown or whatever, and you don't have any kind of experience of a liquid beverage not being sweet, it feels very wrong It's like, no. This is off. This is weird. This is not a normal thing. I need my sweet drinks to be sweet and lovely and easy.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why
I agree with that.
That's why I like the strong coffee question. If you like your coffee black, big, bold, dark, aggressive, challenging flavors, and then you also like spicy foods, that could be a good indicator that you are down for some smoky scotches. But again, there's total caveats to any kind of rule you try and make up. Okay, I'm not even going to try that. All right. I am going to try XAE combined squished together A-XII.
You want to know how to pronounce that correctly?
XAGZ. Hamilton.
I can pronounce that correctly for you if you want. It's X-A12.
No. Look. It's pretty good, actually. It's probably right.
X-A12. You know how I know that?
What?
I Googled it. And it's what Elon Musk named his kid. And it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. How do you pronounce this?
Right.
And it's X-A12.
He's already of drinking age. Time is flying by during the Rona. Just looking for a whiskey with a lot of smooth notes. Any suggestions? Terry says, I picked that one because I want to hear you tackle
X-A12. Yeah.
So Terry Dolan, he's actually picking out a lot of the comments.
Yeah, yes.
Shout out Terry. So smooth, basically.
Smooth notes.
So I don't know if smooth is actually characterized as a specific note, like a flavor.
No, it's not.
It's more
an
of
experience.
the character of the whiskey.
Yes.
Now, there's going to be so many people who are going to have their own definition of smooth, and this is where you'll often find people getting into silly little arguments about what is and is not smooth.
Or is smooth legitimate as a word for
Right.
whiskey tasting notes? Because what does it even mean? But the thing is, we know what it means.
Well, for us, though, but depending on how people have been using the word.
Right.
How they've been using the word, it can very easily and often be a different thing. So when we say smooth, what do we mean?
We mean something that lacks any sharp edges, is sort of one rounded, cohesive note with not a lot of waves of complexity, and just sort of, it's soft.
It doesn't bite. There's no kind of struggle. There's no real burn. There's no real sting.
I'm thinking of...
That's not always, what's interesting about the smoothness is it's not always a really low proof that presents that.
No.
Oftentimes you can have low proof whiskeys that they haven't matured, they haven't rounded off and aged. And they can be really kind of bright and shiny and dingy and pointy.
Or you can have old or low proof.
Yeah.
That the lowering of the proof removed a lot of the flavor notes that bound everything together.
Yeah. What's often really interesting and fun is whenever you get a high proof whiskey, and for whatever reason, the aging process is taking something in like the 50% ABV range, damn near 60% ABV range, and you'll look at the proof, and it does not present as a high alcohol whiskey because somehow time has presented just a much more easily smooth, rounded off experience to that high proof whiskey. So it's not always related to the ABV, the proof on that bottle. It often is though. If you're wanting a smoother whiskey though, off the top of your head, Daniel, what's a smooth
I'm thinking on a blend.
whiskey?
I'm going to start with a blend, and I'm going to say one that's easily accessible. This is a random one.
Yeah.
Black Bull.
You think?
Kylo Black Bull is actually a really rounded, butterscotchy kind of blend. Other than that, I would say go into single malts and get something that has more of a sherry cask influence.
You know what I think? As a category, they're very often doing smooth well.
Irish.
Yeah.
But specifically pot still.
Yeah, like a Powers?
Yeah, like a pot still
or
Powers, not the
Redbreast,
budget line.
Or the Redbreast.
Yeah.
What about
one of the spots?
What about Japanese whiskey?
If you do Harmony, maybe.
You think?
Yeah.
Because the thing with Japanese whiskey is it's often hard to get stuff that's actually made in Japan because their laws allow them to source it from anywhere, throw it in a bottle, and slap it Japanese whiskey label on there.
But I think those are good starters.
Yeah. In the comments, what would you characterize as a smooth whiskey that you can recommend? Yeah, let's check that out. Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
Steal, may you steal your liver's heart.
And if you drink,
May you drink with us.